Birdsville is only 16 kilometres from the South Australian border. In colonial days, it sported a customs house, and the township is the northern end of the Birdsville track. In the days before road trains, drovers walked great herds of fat cattle from the Channel Country through here on the way to the South Australian railhead at Maree. Dave Gallagher works at the Visitor Information Centre in Birdsville.
Yeah, my name's Dave Gallagher. Everybody calls me Scruffy. That's my nickname in the industry. I'm the tourism officer, one of the tourism officers, I should say, here in Birdsville. Yeah, well, the town's around about 70 to 80 people. It does swell during tourist season. We get a lot of itinerant workers come into town here for the work for the pub and the garages and things like that. So in town we have a bakery, we have the pub, a couple of garages, a caravan park as well, and of course at race time it swells up to 7,000 to 8,000 people like it did this year. They look at the remoteness, of course, the quietness, things like that, and travelling out into places like the Simpson Desert, Big Red. I like to see that. The Birdsville Working Museum, of course, that's always a must-to-see in town here. And then from there they head in all different directions. It certainly is a stepping-off point for the Simpson Desert. It's also a point where they get to as well if they've come from the western side. And it's also a start if you're heading down the Birdsville track down to places like Mungarani, Maree, up the Nudata track, and of course the Lake Eyre. Probably the biggest question we get is road conditions. That's one of the main things. And then it's if they're travelling the desert, we get that. A lot of questions about the desert as well. But mainly road conditions and what they're like and how far it is and where they can camp. Those sort of questions. Yeah, the centre was, we just had our official opening by the Minister a couple of days ago on the Friday of the race day. The building is 12 months old, or just over 12 months old now. It is a fairly big building. We have a gallery in the building now, and we also, at the moment, we have our flood photos from 2009 on display, a theatre where we play a short DVD of the Shire, also office space out the back as well, and plenty of room for people to move around. I think everybody that comes in town should visit our centre here because we do have a lot of information on hand. We have all the road reports. We have satellite phones for hire as well. Also Desert Parks passes, we handle that too. And we know what's going on around town at any given time. A lot of people only stay one night, but 2 to 3 nights, even longer. We get people coming in, especially before races, or come in for a couple of weeks before the races. And there's plenty of iconic things to look at around Birdsville. We have the ruins, Karkari ruins up the north of us here. We have a new site, Two Boys Dreaming, an Aboriginal site just on the east of town as well. We have the old Diamantina crossing to have a look at, and plenty of other things to look at around town. I think everybody should come to Birdsville at least once in their life to experience the remoteness, the quietness, and also what happens in town here. Like I said, at race time especially, that is one of the top iconic things to do in Australia, is come to the Birdsville races when we have thousands of people here. But that's only a small part of the whole tourist season. It's good to come into town, spend a couple of days, look at everything around the place. If you're heading out in the desert, it's a must to come here first to check on what's happening in the desert. If you're heading north, same thing again.